Hey, look at that! Hey, everybody.
Hey.
I'm Sexy Hermit.
And I'm Carlito Sandini. Welcome to our show.
MOFUR ROPA.
Yeah.
Ministry of Urban Revival.
Revenge of Public Access.
I am Sexy Hermit, Carl Sandini. This is...
Larry.
There he is.
Yeah.
Behind us.
Behind us.
Whoa. All right, well... We're off to... There he is.
There he is. All right. Larry!
All right. Sweet. All right. Off to a great start.
You know what's going on in the world today?
What's going on, Carlito?
This week, we've got some very interesting news.
Yeah?
I'd like to share with you, yes.
I love when you share.
Oh, this is great. I thought this was wonderful. I saw this in the news, and I was like... This is so interesting.
What?
There's a new range, kind of like it's not a gun range.
Okay.
It's more of a range which Canadian lumberjacks would use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in New York,
chainsaws? They throw chainsaws.
no, they well close enough.
Okay.
They might get into that, but right now they throw axes.
What?
So within New York City,
in New York.
Yeah, New York City of all places.
Is that a good idea?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's apparently a bunch of expatriate Canadians who are like, heck, I'm tired of the Great White North. I want to live in the big city. And
they came here instead of us going there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Really? Wow.
Oh, yes, yes.
That happens. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, a little better money. You can get a medical degree. You can move to New York City, make all kinds of money. So they started this new thing called, guess what? Kick Axe.
Kick Axe.
Yes, it's a axe throwing range in New York City.
Is it in Central Park?
I don't know about that. I mean, that might be a useful skill set for New York City if you're trying to fend people off. Maybe a mugger, or maybe.
Well, isn't it harder and harder to get a handgun in that town now?
Well, yes.
So they say.
So they say.
Yeah.
So they say. Yeah.
So they say.
Yep.
So yeah, if you can't get a handgun, axes are plentiful.
Yeah. Go to Kick Axe.
Learn how to throw an axe.
It's not about muscle. It's about skill.
Technique. I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm sure.
And so I thought that was a great, interesting idea. You know, I went to Canada a year and a half ago. I went north of the Sioux and I went skiing, up through the UP and then to past the Sioux on the Canadian side. And we stopped in town in the Canadian side of Sioux. And we're like,
axes?
No, we were like, what are we going to do tonight? And so we stopped. And we were thinking, like, what could we do tonight? So we started looking up on the internet things to do in the Sioux. And you know what was number one?
What?
Curling.
Wow. Wow.
So we found a curling
cold
thing.
Climate bowling.
Yep, climate bowling.
Bowling is already a pretty cold climate favorite. But
yeah.
It's indoors.
Yeah, it's indoors. And they had an axe throwing range inside of there.
Wow.
And I was
curling and axe throwing.
Right.
Your one-stop
shop.
One-stop Canadian.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know what I got to see last night?
What?
Return of the The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah, episode 8.
Wow. Should we talk about it at all? You're gonna give me something because I probably might actually see this.
Well, I went and saw it at the IMAX.
I know nothing. Although Last Jedi, I am assuming maybe somebody dies, but whatever.
Well, yeah.
I got a spoiler.
Don't tell me.
You?
I do from the movie.
No.
Just a quick one.
Okay.
Quick one. Luke is Darth Vader's son.
Whoa!
That's it. That's all.
Okay.
Is he done?
Well,
What don't tell me. Don't tell me.
you don't want to know.
No, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. So was it good? Did you like it?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of a rehashing of the same old
Return
story.
of the Jedi is still my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah. Well, I would
The first
say
3 years. I mean, the 4 through 6 are still the best ones. To
Right.
me. Yeah.
This was an Empire Strikes Back sort of vibe. Where
Yeah?
the rebels are,
Really?
it's like a constant running battle, right? From the beginning into the end, it's just a vibe.
Wow.
But of course, the lady goes and sees, Mr. Skywalker, the main character.
Mr. Skywalker.
Yeah, but Luke
He's old
Skywalker.
enough now. You can call him Mr. Skywalker.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And, he's all like a
Earned
grizzled...
a certain amount of respect.
Did you hear about Mark Hamill and Ted Cruz? Their Twitter battle the last couple of days?
God,
No, please help us.
I don't know the total details, but Ted Cruz...
He's doing
spoilers?
spoilers?
Mark Hamill even said, spell my name right. his name wasn't even spelled right in the tweet. And he goes, "Hey, my name is right on the screen in front of you when you're tweeting me." And he's learned to spell my name.
Wow.
And I got some low blows after that.
Well, what were they twittering
People are
about?
so
do you
dumb.
recall?
Oh, it's political.
Oh,
Obviously,
political,
Luke Skywalker does not like Ted Cruz's politics.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of got to be into politics if you're, you're kind of if you're like a Hollywood kind of person.
You
right?
don't have to. Plenty of them stay out of it.
Yeah, I hope so.
But the
But
ones
don't
that,
mess with Star Wars.
Don't mess with
Right.
Star Wars. They'll blow you up, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, who would be Darth Vader in that situation? Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
maybe. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt.
Well, here's another little piece of interesting news. It's kind of in the telecom industry. I thought it was, we had talked about some of in the past, telecom issues,
Oh yeah.
tech issues.
Yep. Net
And I
neutrality went away.
read, net neutrality, right?
Gone.
We'll get into that. But a person in Ann Arbor was clotheslined by a low-hanging wire.
Oh really?
Right, yeah, he was driving his moped, and he just finally won his case. And he, the wire was hanging low. People had called, hey, this wire's hanging low. And eventually it kind of fell a little bit more, and it was about 5 feet in height.
Oh,
this
man.
guy's riding the moped, and got clotheslined by the thing.
Wow.
Has, some major injuries, paralysis, and
Yeah.
lost his hearing, and crashed and waked up.
If he was on a motorcycle, he'd probably be dead.
And they sued AT&T, the owner of the utility pole, and AT&T was disputing that it was their line, but, according to the plaintiff, they proved that it was their line on AT&T's poles.
The one with the neck imprint.
Right. One with the neck imprint.
That's the one right there.
Yep.
That's
yep.
mine.
So, interesting story about a poor man in Ann Arbor who got
Wow.
$2.9 million for severe injuries.
Yep. Is that going to cover? Is he walking?
I don't know the exacts,
Wow.
and he had some paralysis.
It's a nice chunk of
something.
change, but I don't know
Yeah.
if it's worth your health.
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah.
Here's a story my chiropractor said about health. He said, "Would you rather be you right now, or would you rather be Steve Jobs?" And I was like, "Well, Steve Jobs
is dead.
That's exactly right. He died at a relatively young age. So
Yeah.
he was like, "So I guess your health is worth a couple $100 billion."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you can't put a price on it because
Yeah.
I guess, I would have to answer that question.
You think he's really dead? You think he they froze him somewhere? Or maybe he's got his android body already.
I don't know.
He had the money.
Yep. Well, perhaps.
It's dance time.
Oh, dance time. Okay. Oh, we're in glory mode.
Dance with Larry. Is that camera? Where's the cat?
No.
the cat?
Don't throw the cat.
Give me the cat. There we go. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry, man. Do you know the whole? Can you do the?
No.
You can't do the Imperial Death March.
Oh,
Gabriel's learning that.
no, not right now. Never didn't practice it for the show.
funny.
Well,
I played it before. That's it, but
now in other interesting news coming up,
What else we got?
Tesla. You've heard about Tesla cars,
I
right?
have
And
a share of stock.
You
of
do.
Tesla.
A share of stock.
A share of stock. Currently a little down. I'm going long.
Well, I'll tell you, they have a new semi-truck, right? So this is a pretty expensive semi-truck. Theoretically, it's going to, but, and they introduced it out. It looks all super cool, of course, because it's Tesla. Better be cool, right?
Yeah.
And
It barely looked like a truck.
barely looks like something Knight
Small
Rider.
bullet train, I think, from what I saw.
Looks like something Knight Rider would have really wanted to have.
Right.
And so they've gotten some orders for. They introduced this 2-3 weeks ago. It's going to go 500 miles with a full load of stuff between two locations, And then, you know, it's
Battery
got like,
powered.
Battery powered,
Battery
of course.
powered. Tesla battery powered.
Right.
Yep.
And so a lot of these
Takes a month to recharge.
yeah, probably. I think it's, you know, I mean, I don't know what kind of, I mean, you have to think
I don't
like,
know. How fast? You got a volt. How fast does your volt recharge?
well, that's in a 240 volt circuit, right? So you can get the Tesla supercharger, which will do 480 volts, which is effectively 3 times as much electricity. And you can recharge your Tesla car that goes 250 miles in about 80% charge in about, you know, I think if you got the super duper charger, you can't really get it for your home. It'll do it in 25 minutes.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, if I plug it in at home and I've gone through my, you know, 55 mile battery, it takes about 4 hours. Totally recharge it.
Okay.
Off of a home dryer circuit.
You still
right?
got to plan your life around the recharging situation.
Not really, because it's got an engine too.
Oh, well, yeah, your
Now-
volt does. Yeah, right.
Tesla, you run out of electricity, you're on the side of the road wondering what to do.
Right.
Getting your car towed.
Right.
But they have the semi-truck, and UPS ordered 125 of them.
Wow.
And
These aren't driverless, are they? They're still
No.
drivable. They're just
yeah, they're
battery
kinda,
powered.
Yeah, they're battery powered.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. And so they're probably good for consistent runs. Like you got to go from Detroit to Chicago with a load of stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You just drive the truck, you charge it up,
Yeah.
and drive back.
Might even be worth them. I mean, if them
Yep.
to install a recharger at a rest stop or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was interesting.
Maybe the way stations will start having truck rechargers, you know?
Yeah, I would think that would be the case.
Yeah.
You know, they're pretty expensive, and there's a lot of questions.
Yeah. How much
whether-
are these? How much are these trucks going for?
Well, $250,000 they say.
Really? Wow. That's. Wait, $250,000? I thought the. Oh yeah. Yep. We're gonna go to a break. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So-
$250,000. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Commercial break.
Commercial break.
Commercial break. This is
Fuck you. Never out of style.
All right, we're back.
wow.
That was my purple pocket polo
Everybody's wearing it
commercial.
these days.
Everybody's doing it, Kevin.
Right. So
Or I mean, Carlito.
the discreet way to say to people how you feel at a particular
Right.
moment in time.
Or just
right?
not. And
Or
when
just
they
not.
walk away, give them a little.
Yeah.
It's the passive aggressive purple pocket polo.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I first started making them without the purple pocket. That was just a straight up read it and weep. But now, you know, that's a hard sell.
How are you doing these days in this new entrepreneurial endeavor you have?
It's going all right. It's
Yep.
going all right. Yeah, sexyhermit.com.
Have you ever
Or
been?
.life. I'm sorry, sexyhermit.life. And that's where you can find them.
So have you ever been to? You know, they have a incubator called the Runway in
The
Lansing.
runway. No, I haven't
Yeah.
been to the runway. I've
Yeah.
been to the Fledge out in
The
Grand
Fledge?
Ledge, which was an incubator of sorts. So,
So,
yeah.
so the Runway is
What's
like
the
a
runway?
clothing incubator. Like,
Is it?
Yeah, that's
All
exactly
right.
what it is. We ought to go there.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
See what they think of your
Yeah.
shirt. Do like an interview. They might not think you're serious.
You've been saving this just for the show?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
I'm
didn't
getting
know
ready.
about this.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Okay.
We'll bring a camera. We'll tape some stuff.
Talking about other interesting city news, the city of Lansing has joined in a lawsuit suing drug companies for oversubscribing opioid pain medication.
Is it? Well,
which
okay.
leads people into, theoretically, probably true, opioid overdose and opioid
Abuse,
prescription
sure. Yeah,
abuse,
it's,
right?
it's fantastically addicting,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So I'm not surprised, but why aren't they going after the doctors? It's the doctors writing the prescriptions, right?
Well,
I mean, not that I love pharmaceutical companies by any means. I mean, give them hell every chance you get, I guess. But
They're going after the
It's not-
distributors.
yeah,
That's who
okay.
that's kind of who they're going after. The choke point of these. There was just a thing on 60 Minutes this last
they
Sunday.
oversell this stuff.
Yeah.
Man, they oversell this stuff.
Yep, they're supposed to, the distributors are supposed to point out, like, hey, we sold 50,000 pills to this small town, prescription joint.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yep,
Walgreens.
Rite Aid or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rite
yeah.
Aid, and you know.
Yep.
But there's only like 150 people in this town. You know, like,
So where's that gonna go?
Yeah, I mean, how
yeah,
many
that's
pills are
true.
this? Yeah.
It doesn't take much math to figure out the population, and
Yep.
yeah, that's true.
Yep. So that's interesting news that's going on. And,
Who's the lawyer? Just the city of
oh,
Lansing?
there's a
Just
whole
whoever?
army of lawyers that are doing this. This is the next, I think,
Big
drug
class
settlement.
action?
Yeah, the next big class action drug settlement. You know, that's you know what I think is going to be happening is essentially they're going to nail all these drug companies and doctors for overprescribing.
Well, they need to feel a
money.
little heat. I mean, somebody needs to feel a little heat.
Well,
if that's who's making
They're
it.
going to copy they're going to copy the tobacco the lawsuit just because the money is
That's true.
the money is going to be paid out, but what's really going to happen is that they're going to diversify the tobacco company. Diversified all around the world, especially in Asia and Africa, and they pushed their tobacco so much.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the market, they didn't lose much of the market when they had to pay out all that money.
Yeah.
They're
They just moved it
moving
to- they
overseas,
moved it to Asia.
and
Yeah,
that's,
that's what
the
they do.
opioid companies are doing
Yeah.
too.
They
they're
move
doing
it out
the
of
same
here.
thing.
Yep.
They're in Mexico now. They're in all these Latin, South
Yep.
American countries, and
They just
they're-
kick their can to
they're
somebody
just
else's problem.
making a bigger spread across the world, and they don't
Yep.
need to rely on America anymore to make their profits.
No.
So they're just going to get all these other people around the world all
Yep.
addicted.
So you think that's just simply the legalized drugs? I mean, you got drug companies making money off of drugs, and then you
Yep.
got people who want to legalize like medical marijuana,
Yeah.
or all of those types of things.
I don't know anybody that's ever overdosed stuff marijuana.
Right?
Not
Yeah.
even close. Maybe some bad trips. Maybe they did something they shouldn't have done that maybe led to a death. But just saying I overdosed on marijuana, it doesn't happen.
It's kind of like the veneer of you're sick. We're gonna give you some opioids.
Yeah.
Really, you just gotta fake being sick. Oh, I got a horrible pain in my gulliver.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've got a pain in my gulliver.
My Gulliver. What's a Gulliver?
Well, that's a old
Gulliver.
saying. I've got a horrible pain in my gulliver.
Gulliver is all upset.
Right, that was from a little bit of Clockwork Orange. Yes, young
Gulliver?
addicts.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like saying your head, I think.
Okay.
Right. I don't know. It's British. You never know. That's a totally different language.
Sure. They come up with slang quicker than we do.
Right.
Amazing.
So yeah, oh, I've got a pain in my gulliver. I need a little.
Governor, mate, my Gulliver.
Yes.
Pain.
Yes, very nice. Yes. Well, let's see what's new in other interesting technology industry news. Here's a new thing: the SpaceX Corporation. You know,
Yep.
they're carrying supplies up
Are you
to
on
the
a
space
Elon?
station.
You got a bromance going
Oh,
on
no.
with Elon Musk?
I am bromancing Elon Musk
You love
completely.
you love the Elon. That's cool.
Well, I think it's interesting. He seems to have very heightened stock prices. I don't know if it's all like, are they?
I keep waiting for SpaceX to go public, and it's not yet. So
Yeah.
I was investigating. Okay, who supplies stuff that makes rockets? It's like it's all going towards Elon. All this stuff, Bitcoin and Elon.
Bitcoin and Elon.
That's where all the money's going right now.
Yeah. Well, they successfully landed the first stage of the rocket the second time.
Oh, a reused rocket.
Yeah,
That's
so it's
awesome.
a double reuse. It's like its third trip.
Wow.
It's been used, it's been launched, used again, and used again.
That's great.
And so reusable rockets supposedly.
I could not believe that when I saw that rocket just touch down on that pad in the middle of the sea.
Right.
The first time.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. It's like right out of a cartoon. It's like, you expect little aliens to run out of it or something. It's crazy.
Well, so they call it the Falcon. You gotta if you're gonna have a rocket, you gotta name
Yep.
it something cool. Like,
Tweety pie.
and
No?
the Tweety Pie. No, it's gotta be mean.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
In
Something raptorous.
And the thing where eventually the astronauts are going to be in is called the Dragon Capsule. Falcons and Dragons.
Something bursting into flame, something you really want your human occupants to be
I
in?
don't think so. I
I don't know. Maybe it's
don't want to call it the Phoenix.
Yeah. the warhead.
the war.
I don't know.
Well, talking about horrible things in the world, here's another one.
Are we moving to horrible now, Kevin?
Well, we are moving to horrible.
Horrible.
We're going to go a little bit into potty humor, which, you know, this is just a strange goings-on. You
All
know
you
me.
kids watching, stop watching.
Right.
We're going to talk about butt stuff.
In Orchard Park, New York,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there's a, you know, like random piles of poop are showing up on people's lawn, right? And they're like, is this dog?
Park.
No, it's not dog.
Is that like a ritzy area? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
Orchard Park.
ritzy area,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, okay.
And it's kind of hoity-toity, and they're kind of like, people
Someone's
are like,
trying to fertilize the roses.
apparently, they don't know. They were like, you know, these people are very, you know, hoity-toity, and they're like, no, dog.
They don't have
poo on my
cameras
yard.
all over the place? Those people have security
They have
cameras all
not
over the
caught
place?
him yet,
Wow.
but they know it's
Inside job.
It's a human.
It's an inside job. Guy knows where to poop.
Right, and so they got signs up, "Don't poop on our lawn," you know. And
What does that say about it? You need a sign now.
I
see a sign. Fuck
it's
you.
illegal,
I'm
and
pooping on your lawn and see a sign.
right, they think it's a jog-by pooper. Like he goes out there at 4 a.m, goes running. It's like, you know, I got to drop a load or whatever.
Didn't a woman just get busted like a few weeks ago?
I had heard about that one.
Yeah, some woman was pooping on somebody's yard and she finally got busted.
Did she?
What's going on with people?
I don't know. That's rather strange, I would say. Yep. So that's going on now. Talking about more problematic poop news.
Yeah.
Right. There's in Bristol, England. I think it's a suburb of London. Bristol. Yeah. England. I misspelled
No comments
our,
tonight. We have 2 views, 1 live viewer, no one watching on Facebook.
Okay.
We also don't promote. So there you
Bristol, England. They put
They will watch
you know
it.
those
They will watch it.
you know those spikes
It's
that they
being
put on
recorded.
they put on the edge of buildings, right?
go. Yeah, I've seen.
To keep the birds off, so
Yeah.
the birds don't hang off on the cliff edge of your building.
Yeah, and poop
right?
all over signs or whatever. You
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
You see them on lit up signs on the sides of stores sometimes. I've seen them.
High rises, they're
Yeah.
all the rage in
Yeah.
big cities where the pigeons
Wherever
like,
birds are not welcome.
right. Now-
Only places birds are not welcome, right? That seems to be legit.
Yeah, well, that's what we would think. However, this family in Bristol, they have like kind of a small, like old school, high-end apartment buildings. They have really nice cars like Mercedes and whatever else. You know, whatever those Europeans drive that are nice.
Sure.
Right? And they're like, dude, the birds are pooping on our cars. So they went
Because they parked where?
underneath a tree.
Oh man.
Right, so the birds come and land on the tree, and they're like,
As
hey,
birds
I'm hanging out.
do.
Yeah, because, you know, like, where else are you going to hang out if you're a bird, right? So they decided to put all of those spikes on all the branches. Yeah, like, so it's like they got a whole nice old
Just
tree.
chop the tree down.
Just
chop it down.
That's what I
Whatever.
meant.
That's
I
just
know.
stupid. I mean, I love trees, but
So
so they made some guy pound these things into every limb on
Yep.
this tree.
Yep.
At least over the parking lot.
I think they come in like a tape or something. But yeah, they laid it all out there, and it's following the branches.
I
and
bet
it's-
that looks great.
Yeah, it looks
I bet
great.
That looks way better than birds in the tree.
Right, you know, you're thinking to yourself, come on, it's a tree, dude. That's where birds are supposed to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess keeping them off buildings is one
And
thing.
these
but
guys with the fancy cars can't afford a garage. Can't
I-
afford a carport.
Apparently not. Apparently they can't, you know, this is just such a horrible event when you get a little bird doo-doo on your windshield and you're like, golly! Oh,
Right in my gipper! Pooped on my gipper shield!
Oh, damn it, why? We are going to spike every little branch on
Every
this little
branch.
tree, and there'll be no pigeons at all allowed to land on our tree.
No pigeons! Boycott the pigeons!
Yeah, so they're in this big battle right now. Big battle.
With the pigeons.
With the pigeons. And their
Pigeons are
neighbors
gonna
who are
win.
like, you know, that's just mean to the bird. You know, the birds don't have anything. They can't
Probably
go
an old
anywhere.
lady that lives on the other side has had to feed her for like 50 years, and now the birds can't come to her tree anymore.
Yeah.
What a mess.
What a mess. What a mess. Talking about other large messes, we still have a continuing amount of bad news with our
Lito, I
local...
thought we were going to fluff up this show a bit.
No, we have to talk about everything that might be going on that's of interest, right?
All right.
So we're trying to fluff it up. Yeah, but, you know...
I'm wearing a pillow next time.
You're wearing a pillow next time. Well, we have some interesting news with MSU. They seem to still be having problems with this whole NASA situation, right? You know... And there was a big protest at the last board meeting on Friday, just a few days ago. Well, you know, you have a public comment at a Board of Regents meeting, right? You sign up, and you can be like, I want to say my piece.
Say my thing,
Yeah, I want to say my thing. So, you know, NASA was just, you know, sentenced 2 weeks ago, and the ladies...
he's done. He's
the ladies that, you know, had you know, were abused by him. You know, were like, I want to talk to the board. And they were like, okay. And so
that's
they
legit.
were all protesting there at the board, and MSU was like, well, we're going to send up a $10 million fund. And the root of this...
I read her letter.
Yeah. I read her letter too. My girlfriend sent it to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think here's my sermon moment, right? MSU seems to be thinking the logic of the defense is legal, right? That, you know, that we're trying to minimize the expense to the university. We're trying to protect its funds. We're trying to protect the university.
Sure.
Right? That's our objective, and we're very sorry all this bad stuff happened.
Did they know it as it was happening? So far I haven't seen...
People within the university, a number of them certainly did.
Oh,
now
well, that's a problem.
Their internal investigation was nobody... Nobody performed anything illegal.
That's the question. Just like everything else in our government now. How high did it go?
So the big push of these young ladies is they want a independent investigation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And at the root of it, I think the key is you can argue maybe nobody did anything illegal. But that's not necessarily the bar that we're expected to hold public officials to and government employees to, right?
I mean, so much of the sex scandal stuff, you know, that's dropping people like flies lately. How much of it has been legal, and how much of it has just been morally reprehensible? I mean, there's seems to be a horribly wide gap between that.
Correct. And that's, I think, what the lady's point is.
Yeah.
Like, until you guys have the so-called come to Jesus moment,
right?
What they want is
come to Jesus moment. Is that what the press is calling it?
You know, I think really the whole structure of the university is going to be torn apart, right?
I don't know.
I think that management will. So interesting protest by Miss De Hollander. She was.
I think we're going to be in a tough place with this, as we often are. Anytime we try to legislate and put to paper morality.
Right. Well, I think that what this will do is tighten up policies, procedures.
That's all you can do.
Reporting chains of command.
Yeah.
And
hopefully
also,
expect better behavior.
Yeah.
that's all you can ask.
Yeah. And an enhanced openness to reporting these problems, right? Yeah. I think that's really the pathway.
Yep.
But if the university's got this mindset that they're defending.
I bet these docs are never going to be left alone with a kid anymore.
Well, they weren't supposed to be for many years.
Well, then why'd that change? What happened there?
They didn't really follow procedure for a number of years, and eventually, you know, they were like, you know, I mean, you just got to have these procedures down, right?
Yeah, that they're there for a reason. Yeah, it's like, a couple of generations pass and people forget why we do things. Yep. And we have to be reminded. It happens often and over and over. All right, well, we got about 30 seconds left, looks like.
Yep.
Come on, Kevin, give us something happy. Something happy.
Life has been discovered 3.5 billion years ago on planet Earth.
3.5 billion years ago.
We're all the way back to bacterial life in rocks found in Australia 3.5 billion years ago.
Australia.
Yep.
So that's where it all started.
Right. Well, maybe in those rocks it did, but that means that the time clock for the inception of cellular life is all the way back to 3.5 billion years.
It's almost the beginning of the planet.
Almost the beginning.
4 billion year old planet, they say?
Yep.
So they say.
Yep. So life might just be ready to pop up.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long for it to start.
Yeah.
At least the simple stuff.
Right.
Yep. So
that's good news.
Good news.
We'll find them out there. And if any aliens are watching right now, come on the show. Maybe we'll see you next week.
Yep.
I'm Sexy Hermit.
And I'm Carlito Ciandini. Thank you.
That's Larry over there.
Yeah. Lovely Larry.
Andre's gonna fade to black any second now.
'Cause he wants to fade black.